Oh yeah, folks, and we are here. We are live on the Inside We FM Radio 93.3 and 93.9 FM, and we have with us this morning Herbalist, Mr. Worldwide, Patrick Dells. Good morning to you, sir. How are you doing?
Hey, Mikey, what's up? Greetings, man.
I'm good. How are you?
Well, I'm stiff. Struggling, fighting the struggle every day, you know?
Yeah, well, the struggle is real.
Yeah, the struggle is real struggle.
All right, so today we are going to be talking about stomach and the stomach cancer.
Stomach cancer. Yeah,
all right.
It's on the rise, huh?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay,
and also pancreatic cancer. You know, China have the most stomach cancers in the world, huh? Yeah. Well, I'm not going to get to that. Yeah, I think we mentioned last week that breast cancer, lung cancer is the leading cause of death in men and women. A lot of people feel that breast cancer is the leading cause of death in women, but that's not true. Lung cancer is. And then right behind lung cancer for women is breast cancer. Same thing with the men. Lung cancer, and then after lung cancer is prostate cancer. You know what I mean? But stomach cancer is on the rise, not only in the Caribbean, but also in North America. Although China have the most stomach cancers in the world because they eat a lot of smoked food.
Oh. So
nitrates and nitrates. So then you look at the food smoked herring, it's a smoked food. Right? Hot dogs are smoked foods. So all these smoked foods have a lot of nitrates, or nitramines, and then they also when they convert into these compounds or these carcinogens, they seem to cause troubles in the stomach in terms of cancer.
Yes.
Yeah. Another one of the leading cause of cancer in the stomach is also the pylori bacteria. Right. But I want to mention though that the beginning of troubles in the stomach is the beginning of diseases in different parts of the body. You understand?
Right.
Because the stomach is the earth. So everything is being processed there. If you don't have good stomach health, then you start to have things that's indigestion, which a lot of people have.
Yes.
Acid reflux, which a lot of people have.
Yes.
IBS, which a lot of people have.
Right.
Crohn's disease, ileitis, all these inflammation of the large bowel, they contribute to also cancer in the stomach or the beginning of diseases in those areas, or could lead to a different or a disease elsewhere in the body. And that's why we said at the mothers, when you have a baby and the baby get the first tummy ache, it's telling you that something is wrong in the baby's digestive system, and that is the beginning of problems long term. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I always say that we have to take care of the stomach, because that's where we process everything. So I bought a few herbs today to show people how they're very simple plants, but they can keep the stomach well. And for instance, we have plants that fall under different categories. All right, we have the cooling bitters, and we have the warming bitters. Right, the cooling bitters, what they do, they drop things, and the warming bitters, what they do, they bring things back up. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See, a lot of people don't understand herbal medicine. Herbal medicine is very significant, but you have to learn it, and you have to implement it properly on a patient in order for the patient to get the results. Right. So, for instance, we have here orange peel. Right.
Whoa, yeah, man.
See it? Right.
Yeah.
Now, orange peel is a cooling bitter, but orange peel also have anti-tumor activity. So if you have a tumor in your stomach, it can shrink it.
Wow.
But we use the orange.
Throw it with a peel.
Throw it with a peel. And the peel is significant.
Right. So how do you dry it?
Right, you dry it, and after you dry it, it becomes very cool. But the cooling part of the orange peel is very significant if the skin is yellow.
Yes.
See? So the more yellow the skin of the orange peel is, the more bitter the herb.
Okay, and that's yellow pre-drying or after you dry it? So you wait for the orange to get yellow?
Right, the skin.
All right,
and
so
you peel the orange, you take the skin, you put it in the sun, it dries.
Okay.
Once it dries, it becomes more bitter. And bitter principles are very significant for not only the liver, but also for the stomach. So they're cooling bitter. So this is a cooling bitter. So if a person I have what we call acid reflux, all right, because I want to mention hyper and hypochlorhydria, the different forms of acid in the stomach now. If a person have hyperchlorhydria, right, I mean the person is under 50 and they have a lot of acid in the stomach, which can turn into an ulcer, which can turn into cancer.
Right.
Anybody can do that, right? Ulcers cause cancers. Now we use the orange peel as what the medical system uses as what we call Zantac Dica or Ogastro. And we use the orange peel in the tea form And if the person have what we call hypochlorhydria, meaning they have too much acid in the stomach, we use the orange peel to drop the acid down. See?
Yeah.
The only problem with the orange peel is it works like Dica. It just drops the acid. And if you drop the acid too much, you can't break down your protein foods. So you now become, you start to get malabsorption.
Oh, okay.
Because you need acid to break down the proteins. But the orange peel by itself, because it is a cooling bitter, it drops acid, it will only drop, it keep on dropping. They don't tell you, let's keep on dropping, like the Dica does. So what we do, we put a warming bitter with the orange peel, and we call it DOPA, D-O-P-A. And with the bitter herb, it stops the orange peel from dropping acid in your stomach too much. So when the acid reaches 3.6, which is supposed to be in the stomach, pH that is, the woman bitter says, okay, orange peel, you can't drop too much again. You're going to keep it at 3.6. So you, Mikey, don't have troubles with digesting protein foods because that's still normal. What is the woman bitter? Turmeric or saffron is the woman bitter. So we put the saffron with the orange peel together, and we give the patient who have hypochlorhydria as a tea, and then automatically the acid is normalized in the stomach.
Okay, so in that case, you say you wouldn't just recommend using less orange peel so that you don't drop your acid so much in this. And
that's a good question. And less doesn't mean better.
Right.
A lot of people feel more you put is better.
Right.
Less is better. Same principle. Same principle. You're going to still drop it.
Okay.
You know, the key is to know how to combine them together. See what I'm saying, Chair?
Yeah.
And orange peel also have anti-tumor activity, meaning that it shrink tumors.
Right.
So a lot of people know that.
Right.
So we in the Caribbean use the oranges, use the tangerine, use all the lemons, and we throw away the skin. So people like me now, I keep them because they're good for the stomach and they're good for and they're good for tumors too.
How long can you keep it for? I mean,
as long as you want. Once it's dry and you keep it in a you can put it in your refrigerator.
Oh, you can put. I thought it stays. I thought it just stays out in the sun.
No, you got 3 days in the sun. It dries, you take it back in because sometimes then you have to know to pick. Then again, you have to know to pick the plant. Some plants more bitter when you pick them in August. Some plants are more bitter when you pick them in July. So you have to know when to how to dry it and how long to dry it for. All right. Now another one we're going to talk about now is lemon.
Okay.
All right,
Mr. Lemon.
Mr. Lemon.
Yes.
I have a lot of this in my house. I don't do without lemon in my house.
Yes.
I always keep it around.
Yeah.
When it's in season. Well, the lemon is very significant because if you use lemon in some very warm water in the morning with the skin, we use the skin for babies who have colic. Because we call it lime bud.
Right.
Right. The skin can be used for little babies who have colic when the mother eat the wrong foods and she's breastfeeding. And the baby pick up the toxins from the mom's breast milk, and the baby start to get colic, which is the beginning of problems too. We give them a little bit of the peel of the lemon, and that stop the colic, right? But lemon in warm water with a pinch of cayenne pepper, put in, and you can put it into a very small glass bottle or a cup. And you drink that every morning, or you sip it during the day. And what that does is alkalines your blood.
Yeah.
So it keeps the pH in the capillary blood, the arterial blood, and the venous blood at 7.45. So you don't get sick. Because acid kills things, right? Now, when we use the lemon, we can use the lemon as a skin moisturizer too. So because remember that all the citrus fruits have oils. They have volatile oils, and the oils are significant. So what people can do is they can take the lemon, and they can use the skin, and they can use the oil from the skin, and they can use it with some coconut oil, and mix the lemon itself, squeeze it in a little jar, like this, and put a little bit of coconut oil or some olive oil, and then you can put it on your skin.
What?
Yeah, man. You know what that does? Because these fruits have an acid pH, when they get into the skin tissue with the oil, in the first and the second layer of the skin, they start moving flukes out. Anything that is affecting the skin tissue, they go in and they start moving them out. That's significant. Yeah, man.
Okay, so you squeeze some of the lemon juice in your hand in a jar, whatever it
put
is.
In a jar, and then you mix.
You put some coconut oil.
Right, coconut, some olive oil. You can mix them
olive
together.
Oil.
Yes, and you mix them up together, and you just use it as a moisturizer for the skin.
Right.
And what the juice from the lemon does, it goes into the skin tissue. It makes your skin look pretty too, but it goes into the skin tissue and start killing any kind of microbes inside the skin. So if you have dermatitis, you have eczema, you have psoriasis, any kind of skin condition, hives, people who get bitten by these insects, these will stop the insects from coming in.
Yeah? As a form of repellent?
Yeah, my brother. They don't come by.
Yeah?
Because it shows out a scent like plantain. It's an herb called plantain. We use it in that form too. We have it in Grenada also. But if you drink that plant, when you drink the plant, your skin starts to remove some kind of smell. You don't smell it, but insects do. So when they come in, they can't bite.
Okay.
Because that is like a repellent for them.
But the plantain is not used for infections and so on and so on?
We use it for water cancer. What do you call water cancer in Grenada? Water cancer means you get cancer in your lymphatic system, and you start to retain water like lymphedema.
Right.
We get rid of the water from the system with plantain, and plantain can be used as a diuretic too if you have swollen legs, swollen feet.
Right.
But it's more for losing weight, which we can talk about tonight. I have a program tonight on that.
Okay.
It helps you to lose weight too, water weight that is. But it's a good plant, and it's good for infection too. Yes, it does. It works in that fashion. Now, I want to mention this again. In cancer treatment, you hear lots of doctors who are open-minded or who are alternative talking about MCP, right? MCP means modified citrus pectin. And we don't explain to people what modified citrus pectin does or what it means. Now, when you use the skin from these citrus fruits, so we talk about oranges, lemons, limes, tangerines, grapefruits, right? Anything or goes we call it in the green, but they're all part of this family because they have the same seeds.
Right.
Any fruits that have the same seeds can be combined together because they're the families. See what I'm saying?
Yes.
Now, once you put them together, the skin that is, and you take the skin off and you put it into a grinder, all the citrus fruits now, you put them in a grinder, you grind the skin, it turns into a powder. What we do, we take the powder and we sprinkle the powder in the food. What the powder does, any cell that mutate means change into a sick cell, all right, or turn into a cancer cell or initiate into a cancer cell. And is moving because cancer cells do camouflage, make them move from your lung into your liver or from your liver into your lung or in your brain. They camouflage, so then your immune system cannot pick them up because they're camouflaging as a good cell.
Right.
Like the devil. He come like an angel, eh? He come like an angel?
Yeah.
And he fool enough people, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wonderful. So, what the modified citrus pectin does from these fruits, they seem to go in your body, and while your cancer cell is moving and trying to fool your immune system because he's camouflaging, the skin from these fruits start to uncoat them.
Nice.
And once they are being uncoated, your immune system, if it is at peak now, will pick up the cancer cells and start shooting and kill them off with your NK, natural killer cells.
All right, that sounds good.
So God wasn't stupid, innit?
No, he know what he's doing. So you grind it and it gets into a powder form.
Yes, and you mix them together. So you mix in the orange peels, you mix in the lemon peel, the tangerine peel, or the grapefruit peel, and you grind them together because companies now are doing the same thing with these fruits.
Yes,
and they're selling it as MCP in the powder form for $55 US.
Wow.
And we have it in abundance in Grenada. See? So, and it's good for stomach cancer. So we used these fruits. I just wanted people to know that we can use them for acid reflux. If you have hypochlorhydria, that's different, meaning that the person is over 50 years of age, and once we pass the age of 50, we do not produce at least half of the hydrochloric acid that is produced in our stomach. So we start suffering from hypochlorhydria. meaning too little acid. So once you have too little acid, you can't break down the protein foods.
Right.
So the doctors give them Dica too, because he know better. So a 70-year-old go to the doctor and say, doctor, I have a lot of burning in my stomach. Doctor say, give me some Dica, or give me some Zantac or some Malox, or some Pepto-Bismol. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he goes, he know better. He drinks the Dica, and he's already hypo, meaning that he's not producing enough acid already.
Yeah.
So the Dica go drop it more, drop the acid more. And the reason why the person who have hypochlorhydria is having the same symptom as a person who is having hypochlorhydria is because when there is not enough acid in the stomach of the older person, your cells start dumping more in your stomach to compensate. He said, oh, there's not enough stomach acid, so I got to dump more. So he dumped excessive amount. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Once excessive amount is dumped into the older person's stomach, the older person start having the same symptom as the younger person. And the doctor said, well, you have GERD or you have hypochlorhydria, too much acid. So you give them Dica. But we don't give them Dica, we give them betaine hydrochloride and turmeric and angelica and artichoke leaf, gentian. You know what I mean? These are the herbs we mix together because they are suffering from hypochlorhydria, not hyper. And when we give them that, we go through gallbladder, liver, stomach congestion, and make them absorb better now, because once these herbs are used together for hypochlorhydria, not hyper, these herbs help to bring back up the acid in the person's stomach if the person is over 50. And then automatically when the acid come back up to 3.6 from whatever it was, then the person feel better. So we don't give them Dica.
Right.
We don't give them orange peel. You know what I'm saying? But we give them turmeric, we give them gentian, we give them artichoke leaf, we give them dandelion root, and we give them another herb called chamomile. If there is cancer in the stomach, it's according to where the cancer is at. Now, if you have cancer in your stomach, Mike, it's common sense, wisdom. You have cancer in your stomach. That means your stomach ain't working properly. If you have acid reflux, means your stomach ain't working properly. You're not supposed to take a pill. Because that stomach, which is not working well, have to churn that pill into a liquid. And it's common sense. So if your stomach is not working properly, how your stomach going to churn that pill into a liquid? So you can't feed your stomach pills when it's sick. You must feed it what? Liquids. In order for you to get the stomach back in order or in balance, you have to use liquid things, not pills. Because you're going to put yourself at even more risk of getting even more sick.
But wouldn't it dissolve quickly in water?
What's that?
The pills, because once you take the pills, there's a little water in it.
Yeah, but the stomach have to work. The stomach must churn. Your stomach churn at the washing machine. When you put your clothes in the machine, right? It's going to turn in water, right?
Yeah.
That stomach have to churn, and in churning, the stomach produces a few things. It produces acid, and it produces mucus.
Right.
And the reason for producing the mucus when the stomach is churning is to protect the same stomach from the acid that is produced by the stomach. So the stomach also, although it produces acid, hydrochloric acid, it has a protector by producing mucus to protect the same stomach from being invaded by the acid. But when you have bad stomach health and you're going to fix your stomach with a tumor in your stomach, now you tell me, you have a tumor in your stomach, and you go to eat a big plate of food with chicken and rice and macaroni and cheese and blogo and fig and yam, tanya and dasheen. Eh? And you have stomach cancer now. Common sense. You must die from stomach cancer because you are not giving the stomach a rest in order for the stomach to heal. You are feeding your stomach more poison and making your stomach work harder, which can't or won't be able to get rid of that cancer in your stomach because you're feeding too much food. So you have cancer in your stomach, you eat a big plate of food 3 times per day. Meals, lots of meals, eating and drinking at the same time. You can't fix stomach cancer.
So you recommend
liquids?
Yeah. Liquids
and herbs, anti-tumor that have anti-tumor activity, because stomach cancer is one of the most hardest cancers to fix, like pancreatic cancer is. See? But you can fix it if you know where it's at, and you can fix it if you can get rid of the pylori bacteria in the stomach. What you call this here?
There's some roots.
What is called, man?
That's roots.
You're from Grenada. Roots from, what is the name of the root?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I have to taste it, smell it, or touch it. The Babande?
Babande, man. Babande. That's what we call it in Grenada. Oh, you all who live in the Caribbean, we call this Babande. Now, what is the purpose of Babande? From your information you're hearing about this particular plant, what is the purpose of it?
Well, it helps put some form of oxygen in the blood. Sometimes it will thin in the blood a bit. Thus causing for men
aphrodisiac. I knew you was going to say that. I'm surprised you didn't say the first time.
Well, I have to be. You have to be politically. I can't seem to be too corrupt. I have to be politically correct.
I love that. It is an aphrodisiac.
Yes, it is. It serves as an aphrodisiac.
Right, but it is also cooling to the liver.
Okay.
So when you have any kind of troubles in the blood,
yes,
you just use the word oxygen.
Yeah,
oxygen is important. You have to keep the blood oxygenated, but you can't give the blood too much oxygen either.
Right.
Because your blood, you can get what we call oxygen-free radicals. That's why when a person exercises for too long, they create oxygen-free radicals just by exercising for a long period of time. So if you have too much oxygen in your blood, you can also create oxygen-free radicals. So you only need how many percentage of oxygen in the system? 21%. Anything more than that, you have troubles too. See?
Right.
So although it creates it oxygenates your blood, it is also good for your liver.
Okay.
It is also good for your lung. Now I am treating the same lung cancer patient over here with this. It's amazing. Tumor is going away.
Nice.
So although this herb have aphrodisiac properties, it is also cooling to the liver. So a lot of people feel it's only an herb for sex. I use the word sex in your program. SEX, XXX. It's not only for that. It's a herb that when you have trouble in the liver, so your child come home and the child have trouble in the skin, you boil some babande and you can put it with a little bit of orange peel. You know what I mean? Or if there's inflammation, or we call dermatitis, inflammation of the skin tissue, you could put a little bit of turmeric there, because turmeric is anti-inflammatory, or saffron, and you can give the child to use. And these herbs go in and work on the child's liver to cool the liver, because once you have heat in the body, you look at the tongue in the mirror, the tongue will have a lot of spots on there, and that's telling us that you have a lot of heat inside. So these cool you down.
All right, nice, yeah.
But it's good for lung cancer.
Okay, it's good. It's good
for lung cancer. And liver cancer.
The effects of the effects of the root and the bark and the stem is the same.
Well, they have this. Mostly all the plants have the same property, because when the root is growing, it will send a lot of the chemical from the plant into the leaves.
Yes.
But although the leaves might have certain of the chemicals that the root have, it is the leaf system is also a little bit more limited per se, because they more work on the upper area of the body, because the roots sink and the barks sink, and the leaves and the flowers float.
Yeah.
So once they float, they have more effect on the upper part of the body, whereby these sink, they have more effect on the lower part of the body.
You see that there, and when they have more effect on the lower part of the body.
Huh? Yeah.
The roots.
Yeah. But if you use this with garlic.
Good garlic.
If you use babande with garlic, ginger, turmeric, cinnamon, only these 4 plants: babande, garlic, ginger, turmeric, and cinnamon together, your wife can never sleep. You'll have up all night.
What about you?
You won't kill yourself, eh?
No, that's what I'm going. That's why I'm asking a question. What about you, in terms of having? I see we run out of time, but having too much probably can cause one to have extensive erections and so on. That too can cause problems.
That's a good question. Everything is in moderation, right?
Right.
All right. So we have to look at what the plant does. We have to look at what is the makeup of the plant. If the plants have a lot of alkaloids,
right,
or what we call pearlizidine alkaloids in the plants, because lots of plants have pearlizidine alkaloids that can affect your liver, and your liver is wood, which can affect your penis, which can affect your circulatory system, which can cause you to, like Mr. Meza, he couldn't go down.
Yeah.
He had to cut the vein.
Yeah.
I don't think plants will do that, but as I said before, you have to look at using plants in moderation. And
even medications, even some of the medication that you prescribed. There was one time I almost had to visit the hospital because I was taking a medication for a particular reason, and I saw something else, some other things happening to me, and I couldn't understand why. And it was found that it was being caused by the medication. It has that particular side effect that was so dread.
Yes. And I want to mention before we go to that a lot of people feel herbs don't have side effects. That's a myth.
Yeah.
That's a myth. Don't let anybody make you all feel because herbs are natural, they have side effects. I'm the first person who tell you all that, and I'm a herbalist. Herbs have side effects. So if you are allergic to ragweed, you can't use chamomile. Huh? If you want to prevent, or if you have liver troubles, and you want to prevent venereal disease, don't drink chaparral. Huh? Don't drink comfrey. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
Bitter burr, yellow root, foxglove. These plants have alkaloids that could affect different parts of the organ system. Black sage is another herb again that people use on a regular basis in Grenada. But black sage damages your kidney too.
You're right. Yeah.
Because of the alkaloid content, because people doesn't know the makeup of the plant, what the chemical makeup are.
Right.
Once you know the chemical of the plants, if it have glycosides, berberine, eugenol, if you don't know, and you're going to use the plants on a regular basis, make sure to just take a week off. Like aloes. Too much aloes will cause you to have colic. Because aloes have eugenol. And if you use it on a regular basis, you start to get belly pain. So it's good to use aloes twice, 2 weeks, stop a week, start again. Golden seal, same thing. You use too much golden seal, it starts to get rid of the good bacteria in your intestines. So you have to know. But the beautiful thing about plants is, once you use them, you get the side effects, boom, right away. And you stop.
So at least you know.
Yeah, definitely. At least you know.
Right. Patrick, thank you very much, Mr. Worldwide. And we touch base again next week, Thursday?
Yes, and I want to tell the people in Trinidad, I'm in Trinidad on the 24th of February. There's a big herb shop going to be opening in Chiguanas in the mall. I'm going to give you all some more information. I'm going to come in Trinidad from the 24th to the 29th. And we're going to have a big seminar there on the 26th, I believe. So if you're living in Trinidad, look for the information on my Facebook page. And then I'll be in Miami on the 16th of March. And then we're going back to Canada and be Scarborough, a big seminar there in April. And we're having a big seminar. We're having our big retreat in Grenada, bringing enough people over here so they could see how to keep themselves healthy and prevent the disease. Blessed love Mikey and give thanks and praise to the Most High.
All the best, man. And folks, that's where we end the program for today with Patrick Dells.
Friends are bringing money.